how has the sort of the role of programmatic in the agency world changed, and maybe what is happening here that, we're on this rooftop, but, give us your thoughts.
Well, I think the biggest change is that we've come through a period where all of the agencies were testing with programmatic and clients were testing with programmatic, and probably most importantly, we set up this concentration of talent. We brought in new kinds of people that hadn't traditionally been in agency roles, and we built technology and we learned how to use that technology, and it was really useful to have this sort of tight concentration of those people working on driving those breakthroughs. And I think what we've done over the past 3 years is we've proven that it works. And in many ways, I just met with my team the other day and I kind of said, what's the next phase for us over the next 3 years? And it's really what happens when you become the establishment. And it's, you and I were talking earlier and I said it's almost like what's happening is a little boring. It's, we're 100% focused at this point on how we drive all of this technology and these new skill sets into the everyday best practices of how OMD and PhD operate. And to some extent, we go away or we become powered by, because the role has always been to build the most programmatic media agency in the world, not build a separate one. And we're at that point where our clients are seeing it, our co-workers and colleagues in the media agencies are seeing it, and so it's changing the way we work with them and making all of us better.
Josh, tell us a little bit about the open exchange versus private exchange, and private versus open, and there's been a lot of discussion about how that's going. What's your philosophy or operational approach at OMD?
Yeah, so I think we start from a premise that we want to be working directly with publishers, especially those publishers that we have long-standing multi-client types of relationships with. And there's more power for both the publisher and for the advertiser when that connection is closer and not going through as many hops. The open exchange architecture has been wonderful in terms of defining an interoperability lowest common denominator in some ways, but it doesn't help, or maybe the better way to put it is that with growing sophistication on the buy side, we want to be able to do more complicated things, and publishers want to be able to do more premium things and be able to be rewarded for that. So we generally see that starting to apply this technology with a tighter handshake is a good thing. One of the things I think we've recognized is that media historically has been bought in a very transactional manner, that even somebody that I'm working with on multiple clients in multiple offices, we have a separate team on the buy side and the sell side that are negotiating a specific contract for one transaction. And even though we're going to use that same publisher 20 times on that same client and 100 times across the network over the course of the year, we don't ever think of that relationship holistically. So we go forward now and we say, look, there are a number of partners, not all of them pure digital, where we know our clients want to and will invest significantly with them over the year. How do we define a richer, fatter pipe between us and them that allows us to do deeper executions, to share data back and forth and make that part of it, to do custom executions that are hard in the open RTB standard. So all of that I think is great, and I think it's actually the best thing that could have possibly happened in the industry for publishers, because it's going to truly allow them now a much bigger opening to be able to differentiate themselves. And with that said, standards are awesome. And the reality is that there are millions of publishers on the web, and they're not all going to go do custom private marketplace deals with holding companies. And they are going to continue to attract and engage amazing, passionate audiences around great content. And the OpenRTB system democratizes the flow of demand to those people. If you can attract an audience, you can gain advertisers without having to hire a sales force, without having to give up half of your yield to a rep firm. And I think those dynamics are fantastic. I think the more that advertising dollars move in a direction where they're saying, I care more about the who than about the where, there's going to be a need to have long tail inventory be accessible to advertisers, as well as really deep, rich integrations with top publishers.